Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Crisis 169, um, coming to you live with a let's talk Q dash. Damn it, come on. Hmm. Q&A here. Well, let's talk about PC gaming issues, thoughts. Yeah, guys, thank you for welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, whoever you are out there. I do appreciate you guys watching my channel, getting a chance to get to know you guys and know a lot about you and stuff like that, and understand that I'm here to talk about anything and everything. I'm here to talk about anything and everything here. Um, I have no problem talking to people, no problems answering questions, just checking my Facebook Messenger to make sure nothing's there. I always like to bring it up to make sure I get anything on Messenger, just to make sure. Sometimes get some stuff on Messenger. People talk on Messenger. Some people Messenger because maybe one person messaged Messenger because they had a problem with their PC not working. And come to find out, their power supply was going out, and it was locking up their system so they couldn't damage it. They told me they noticed some weird burnt smell, and I asked them did they actually clean their PC regularly, and they said they religiously they try to, but they don't a lot of the time. I said, well, good thing your power supply is only bad because that could affect your graphics card, your processor, and they have an AIO too as well. So that's even more of a double whammy if you really think about it that way, because that way can be really difficult for you. So I have some people, and you can message me in my messenger. Is Mark Hupsling, first and last name same. I have two accounts. My other account is a blank screen. That's my real account. The secondary account is my original one. I got a second one because I had issues logging into it, and when I finally got it, it was already too late. I already created an account, so I go ahead and keep the account instead of getting rid of it. But yeah, though, so a lot of people come over time. I guess that we solved some problem. People had problem with their PC and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool, though. I mean, I try to solve people's problem much as I can. Uh, like I said, though, we had a person talk to me on Messenger about the computer not working. Come to find out, it was the power supply. And I asked the person, "Did you clean?" He said they didn't clean it in a while, and well, when I took out apart their power supply, pulled it out, a lot of dust got in there and damaged the power supply. I said, "Well, lucky, it didn't damage your entire computer. It shut everything off. It literally fried itself out. It had a smoke. They smelled burning, so I turned it off and turned it back on again. It wouldn't come back on. So really, it's not the bad guys. I mean, we all go through a kind of problem sometimes too, where we try to get around from doing cleaning like that. But I think the cleaning is the biggest thing. PC cleaning is probably the most important thing to have. Cleaning your PC is best to do. Um, um, it's the best thing you can do. Really, it's the best thing you really can do to help prolong your system. Um, and I say that, guys, and I must owe my utmost respect. I know life happens. You know life happens. Everybody has life that happens. People have life that happens. Things go on, and I get it. You can't always clean your rig when you're supposed to. Okay, I get that, and I think that's most biggest problem of all problems with PC gaming is that we have to clean our rig quite regularly, and I think that kind of plays in the role of why a lot of our PC problems we have. With failing fans and failing AIOs and problem with our processor or problem with our fans, problem with our graphics card. If it's covered in too much dirt, dust, eventually it will fail. I have a lot of dust in my room, believe it or not. Um, I have a fan roaring all night because I like to sleep with a fan on. But I clean my room tremendously, dust free a lot of times. Not all the time. It's not 100%. I don't live like in a hospital. See the little desk there behind on the antenna there. The antenna had an antenna only for like about maybe less than 2 months. So my room gets pretty dusty. I have to try to clean stuff about once a month. I clean everything. My game area I clean fully once a month, but I actually clean it very religiously. Every 2 weeks I'll spray down the inside of the rig with a little fan. I showed you guys yesterday. Showed yesterday. You can use those air cans. Those air cans have moisture in them and can be very dangerous for your electronic stuff. That's why I always turn off my PC and stuff. Hey, what's up there, boxing? Mark's 2 cents. I wouldn't go that far, buddy. I wouldn't go that far. And I have basic knowledge of Peter stuff, and you were the show. You were the start of the show yesterday. One of the gentlemen kind of took away that start of the show right there. Boxing 1 cent. There you go. And Mark 1 cent. The 1 cent duos. But I do appreciate a lot of you guys having comments and concerns yesterday. It was pretty cool. So I might do these question Q&As though around here. Today's one is about the issues, but also cleaning your rig or game console. Yes, you have to clean your game console. Believe it or not, you have to clean it because you have air holes. Believe it or not, consoles require air to keep cool. And I understand it's pretty new fundamental thing, I guess, son. A lot of my friends who had issues with their Xbox, PlayStation in the past had a lot of dirt, dust around them, and then that's a big no no for a lot of these companies. They'll cancel an RRA and say it's on the void warranty in the fashion you can blink because if you don't clean your machine, you don't clean your stuff. Then why should they honor the warranty? So if you get a pre-built or get warranty on parts like your graphics card, game systems, whatever, keep it clean much as possibly can. If you guys send it in, you have to send it in for an RRA or for a to be fixed, especially in the console side. They'll pop it open and they see dust bunnies in there. Now they may do it one time. They might say, "Hey, it's one time to avoid the warranty, and that's it." So you gotta be careful. I mean, a lot of shady stuff out there with these companies, but you know, don't give them a reason to be shady like that even more. And no, they already are. And PC issues really boxing myself and having people solve some issues with some issue that there was somebody who had an issue with their motherboard. Come to find out, he went through all the checklists that I was telling him to do. That I went through. My PC didn't work. Come to find out, I had an issue with the BIOS update that I didn't do correctly. Also, it wasn't plugged. The PCIe slot wasn't plugged in all either, too. Come to find out, the BIOS wasn't updated. Why when it posted, it didn't do a whole lot of stuff. But when it did work, it worked perfectly fine. My sister being in IT came over and real quick fixed it, man. That's why I do my own BIOS updates now, my own flashes now. I check almost about every 3 months. I check, even though it's like 6 months or whatever a year they drop new BIOS updates. The motherboard manufacturers do. May not as much for AM4 as they do for AM5 probably, but AM4 being as old as it is, I'm so surprised they even caring about giving us the same type of updates on our BIOS. But it's still the one that's people are going to do PC builds because it's just getting pointed out that you can't. The DR5 is just out there in space. It's just too far gone. It's like Pluto. It's way out there. Um, and another person of mine, another person talked to me on Messenger, asked me, is it possible to is Intel Arc cards a good investment? I said, well, I explained to him, Intel Arc cards have been out for a while, not very long. Intel did stop making them and canceled production, then restarted again once they got the bugs worked out. But I'm saying if you're gonna get a 10 gig or 12 gig, it depends on your budget. And they asked me what I should get. I said, get 12 gig, obviously. Because you can do 1440p gaming. He said, yeah, I'm gonna do some 1440p gaming. Well, get 12 gig. Even if you're gonna do 1080p gaming with Arc, the Arc cards are still the budget gurus practically. Believe it or not, how expensive they are right now. About 300-400 bucks. Really, ain't not bad, but we're saying 300-400 bucks is not bad, even though we have graphics cards that cost thousands of dollars out there. That ain't bad compared to 5090 for $5,090. K2Sins did a review on all of them, testing power levels and frame rates. I watched that earlier. I have I'm subscribed to him down below, by the way. You can go down my page while you're down there, hit a like and subscribe button while you're passing through there down there. And hit notifications too. Um, but also he talked about that stuff too. He's the only one that did that. 5090 power draw, and the issues with the most expensive one cost $55,090, and the other ones, the Founders Edition, that was actually the Founders Edition was actually kicking the crap out of the um, more expensive one. That was actually the base $2,000 model, the Founders Edition 5090. But like I said, guys, like I've been saying in my videos all the time, these cards, man, they'll sell you as anything they can. They'll mark a 56 Ti 800 bucks, 16 gig, 800 bucks if it could, and they probably will eventually because people are buying them. I ran some numbers yesterday and found out the 5060 Ti is actually selling a little bit better than it once was. Who's to think? When you get rid of the 5070 Ti 16 gig, you jack up the 5080 and 5090 to astronomical amount of money. The 5060 Ti in 16 gig, becomes that card of choice. And stuff like that, though. And that's really, I think, the biggest thing out there is that the 50 series was looked at as being a cash grab. But I look at the 56 Ti as being probably one of the brightest underdogs of this whole situation. And I think that's the biggest thing of all time is understanding what it means to be, to have that type of understanding. Um, is that realm of possibilities of why they charge us so much. Yes, I did see that jackass's comment, so I got rid of them. Guys, I'm a gaming channel. I'm not gonna tell you my whole life story. You know, I'm a gaming channel. I'm a fat guy. If you haven't noticed, I look at me and I take a wild guess. Okay, uh, so I know my problems, and we all have problems out there. I got friends of mine who are drinking problems. I got friends of mine who have smoking issues. Problem to problem. Everybody got problems. How you deal with it is tells a lot about you. But anyway, moving on though. The 56 Ti now, 16 gig, is becoming sought after card. I mean, so much so that people I've talked from my friend at Best Buy saying that he's getting phone calls about that card, even though they haven't had one in like a few months. And it's just wild out there right now. But topic at hand though, the console gaming issue is PS6 is going to come out. They're thinking about probably 2027. Um, right now, realistically, I don't think making a PS6 right now is a good idea. My thoughts, my comments is PS6 is gonna cost 1,200, 1,500 bucks easy. I don't care what anybody says. Now you can get a you can have a coupon day for iCare and have coupons, to trade in your PS5 and get PS6 for half price. Half of 1,200 bucks is $600. I mean, it's still a lot of money out there, folks, being spent. Still a lot of money being spent out there. And people say, well, Christ, there's a lot of people spend that kind of money on graphics cards. True. But a graphics card is not something you use for multiple years on. That plays every game regardless how old it is. A console doesn't have that lifespan. Technically, it does if you have the old NES, the Genesis, 360, PS3, but those consoles are no longer online or were ever online. So it's kind of a catch can thing. You have to really figure it out. That's why I always say that console gaming is always, 3 links back from PC, and it's always going to be because of that reason. You can't you can't sell people a bunch of dreams and talk. This is what these console manufacturers do. They sell these people dreams and talk and tell them it's going to solve. And the I guess it's being spiteful, whatever with PC gaming makes you kind of spiteful because you understand the lingo. You understand the used car salesman. We all been told by NVIDIA how great the 1080 Ti and 2080 Ti is great, and the 3080, 3090, and 40 series, 50 series, and we're like, you've been telling us for the last 10 years how great these cards are, and yet you're increasing them to X amount of dollars that nobody who, unless you save every penny the whole year, can afford. And you wonder why people are revolting against you. That's just common sense there. That's just common sense. That's not anything outside of your realm or your or my realm possibilities. It's plain common sense. You can't tell people to spend $2,000 on a 5090 with a straight face when they got food and they got rent and they got a mortgage or whatever, a car payment. It just it's astronomical. How they even consider these prices? They must sit somewhere and go, you know what, we could charge 5 grand for this car. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And they stamp 5 grand on it and they go home for the day. Used to be he had to, used to be he had to shuck and jive and what's going to be all AMD and oh my god, yeah, Nvidia, two graphics card companies. What's going to be? What's going to be? Who's gonna make the first move? Who's gonna make the first flip? Who's gonna make the first next big thing and sells to the masses? It's always been Nvidia. He's been one way ahead of the curve, one step ahead of the curve. But AMD's coming around. They've been sitting there plotting and planning, doing their planning because they see NVIDIA's faults. They see NVIDIA's problems. They see what they have done, and they capitalize on it tremendously. And I think that's probably the biggest problem with PC gaming right now is that me personally, we're caught in the middle like cannon fodder, no, like cannon fodder. We're caught in the middle of this war between the titans, and all we want to do is play some games online with friends. And now we have chip shortages and RAM shortages and consoles being just as expensive as damn freaking graphics cards. RAM costing is more than most graphics cards, and also your rent and maybe your mortgage or maybe even your car payment combined. It's probably a little excessive on that. But if you want it 10 years ago, a $5,000 graphics card 10 years ago would be pretty much your car payment, your mortgage or rent, and whatever all utilities you have. And all together as one. But I just think it's just one of those things, man. That I don't think we're ever gonna figure out why they can't just give us what we want at decent price. We all know what it is. The bloodthirsty bastards want money. And people out there will pay for it. You guys out there who have your $1 million lottos will go out there and spend every nickel you got to go buy a $5,000 graphics card because you're gonna keep up with the Joneses next door, keep up with the PC Master Race next door instead of just worrying about paying your bills off. Like I said though, it's your money. You do what you want with it. But I don't know what it is, and I'm researching this stuff, trying to figure out when did it start. And I think it started right around the 2080 Ti. When that came out, it was like $1,200. The 1080 Ti was like $700, $800, and that was spent back when it came out. So I'm thinking it really started to unravel around 2080 Ti, then just went off the rails after that because people are buying them. People are selling 1080 Ti's, flocking to the store to buy 2080 Ti's. As soon as, you see those Black Fridays of yesteryear when people are running down the freaking store, knocking people over, running the store to get that TV or whatever. Back in the early 2000s, that's how it was when 2080 Ti came up. People thought, okay, I remember it because I remember friends of mine who had older brothers who had gaming rigs, and they went out there and waited for hours at a Best Buy or whatever they went to go buy theirs to get one. And it was like, man, this is so much insanity. But it's how PC gaming is. PC gaming issues to me are not really issues with anything other than maybe you have a faulty motherboard or a faulty RAM slot. It's a good thing we solved that gentleman's problem yesterday, or got enough information to solve it, or make a educated, understanding guess about it. Because PC gaming, a lot of you guys who are new PC gaming are going to find out that a lot of your problem solving is mostly educated guessing. Because you have to guess something. Because if something goes wrong, you don't know what it is right away. It could be unplug this, unplug that, damage RAM slot, damage RAM stick, bad processor, bad motherboard, or multitude of anything. So pretty much you have to know. And that's why I went through with boxing, and we went through and I talked about changing out the PCIe cables and the power cables, changing out this and that. Of course, the guy went through all that stuff. So he pretty much did check marked out, checking out everything he was doing, because that's usually what I do. If something goes wrong, I start taking out power supplies, checking power cables, start looking at stuff. Because you could have a cable that goes, that plugs into your graphics card that's a little bit too far over to the right, doesn't connect, doesn't turn on all the way. It does happen. A lot more than it should. But it does happen a lot more. And I think personally that we need to really understand the PC gamers and content creators, myself included, that we should not jump on the bandwagon of all these problems happening. We should let them, like the 14th, 13th gen, I didn't say anything about it for at least about a month or two after it happened. Because I don't have an Intel product. I don't really know. But I started making little comments about them in my videos. But I didn't make a video until I found out what it was. J210 Gamer Nexus. I even went PC World, looked at PC World, and I started researching stuff and come to find out it was a voltage issue. It was this, it was that, and like I said, a lot of times you're gonna find out problem guys. You new people out there who watch my channel who are new to PC gaming. Welcome to PC Master Race, obviously. But if you're new to PC gaming and you're kind of worried about having problems, you're gonna have problems. I mean, that's how it is. A game won't load, computer may not start right away. Things happen. You download an update that doesn't go too well with your system. Happens all the time. I mean, I'm telling you, you'd be amazed how many times I had to reinstall games just to get them to work. Because then after an update, Battlefield 6, I had re uninstall and reinstall because the damn the update just made it weird. even though it's connected and the internet speed was good, you get those damn updates. They had one on Windows. They had issues too. They had to pull back. So it's not just games. It's the freaking operating system problems. So I'm telling you guys, I think these companies are slipping. They think we're stupid. They think that we're here to be just ATM to dole out dole out money to the war machine anytime they want, and that ain't the case. We should not be doling out tons of money to these companies. No snap of a finger. We should be able to go, no, we want our Windows fixed. No, we want Helldivers 2 fixed. No, we want these games fixed. We want these things fixed. No more money until you fix them. See how fast a couple keystrokes hit that, and how fast the updates out. I mean, it's not how it is sometimes. Look at Cyberpunk 2077. CD Project Red had one issue, and that was Batman Arkham Knight. They gave the PC port to a third party. They totally tanked it so bad they had to pull it off Steam, and get massive refunds to everybody that bought it on Steam. Um, Even if you're already playing it for over 2 hours, they gave you a massive refund anyway. Come to find out, third party studios, didn't do a lot. Third party studios, didn't do a lot of PC ports. They did a lot of other ports other than PC. Well, they did some, but not a whole lot of that scale. But now, 2077 had an issue. 2077 had an issue. And what they do? They fixed it right away. They didn't wait 2 years. Battlefield 2042. They didn't wait till the numbers dropped down. Battlefield 6. Start fixing stuff. They did it right away. Still doesn't excuse what happens, but it makes it easier to understand now that companies can, get motivated if you properly motivate them. The lack of, funds going to them. Look at Helldivers 2, another prime example of a game that's still broken. I'm playing with friends, playing people online randoms. People are walking like they're running, just running still. The game crashed. We lost the connection. No word on my screen saying, "Hey, lost connection." Still happens to this day. 2-year game. Game back for almost 2 years. Still same problem. It happened when I had 300 megabytes. It happened when I have 100 megabytes. So it ain't the internet. Because I'm playing Battlefield and everything else online great. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's one of those things. PC gamers, we have problems. We fix our own problems in our rig, yet we can't. But we have to accept the fact that games can't be fixed right away, or Windows goes bad, or something happens. I'm sorry, folks. I can't buy that. Boxing had an issue with the NVIDIA update. Another one, the same one we talked about yesterday, had a problem with the graphics cards, especially the 50 series. I'm lucky I didn't download mine right away. I waited because if I downloaded, it would have had a problem with my graphics card. I kept the old one, even though it was stuttering issues. And then they send out a message. I got the message on my phone saying that the new update was being canceled or being postponed until they get the bugs worked out, and just to revert back to the old one. And they gave an option to revert back over, even though I was already using the old one. Because happened when I was at work. I think a Friday. I didn't get back to playing it until Sunday that week. So it was, but yeah, this kind of stuff happens. I mean, shouldn't happen in a perfect world. Where all the trillions they're getting from doing AI crap. You think the damn thing will be instantaneously fixed? No problems at all. No. Well, guys, this is my video. I do appreciate you guys watching my video. No, it ain't much of a question to answer this time around, but I'm kind of tired, so I appreciate you guys watching my video. We discuss clean your PC, discuss gaming, PC issues, thoughts, and consoles. I'll catch you guys later. take a nap here. I'm tired as hell. I might play a game or two, but I'm pretty much tired. So no, if I'm still online, see me on Steam, message me. I probably won't message you. I'll probably be sleeping if I sleep at all right now. But yeah. I'll catch you later. Peace out. God bless all you. Peace, everyone.